Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics with a pretty awesome video for you today. So last year I went to a yard sale down the street from me and a guy had comic books. I ended up buying a ton of them from him, over 800 in fact. I did a couple of videos on the channel and I have some pretty sweet books to show for it. But at the time I bought those, he actually told me he had more comic books down in his basement, older books, better books, and someday he'd invite me over to go down there and check them out. Well, that day finally came. He called me out of the blue. I went over there. And let me just say, guys, it was probably the best comic book collection I've ever found. They were great books, including a couple of bona fide grails. So check out the footage. I think you're going to like it. And then I'll meet you guys back here afterwards because we have a lot to talk about. These are all your comic book boxes? Oh my goodness. Are they organized?
No.
No.
No. But,
oh my gosh.
There are ones there's a couple I want to show you. These are 10 centers.
Oh yeah.
These are some 20s. These are some, yeah, I mean.
They get like the weird stuff too, right?
Yeah. Look at
those. What are those?
These are.
This Seal Fusion. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I know.
You have a few issues before this, you'd be in business.
Yeah, I know. You and we'd be flying to, Tahiti together. Oh well, that and $1.
Nice. Yeah, what's he got there?
The Metal Man.
Metal Man, oh yeah.
I like. She can't come in. Lets me to walk her in there.
So that's not much. I mean, this is cool. I'm gonna look it up because I don't think it's not Triton.
Oh, you see, this got writing on it and stuff.
Yeah, you get the old bags, huh?
What's that? Yeah, the
yeah,
sticky.
They get the sticky.
You gotta get them out of those bags.
Dust.
Yeah. Well,
Love
another thing to do. You know that?
Oh, you gotta rebag. You gotta rebag all these. Yeah.
I have to
Contest
rebag
of Champions is the first big crossover. Oh, great Dazzler cover. Oh yeah. Oh, that's.
Hold on, magazine.
Yeah, magazine.
To tell you about.
The
Avengers. Who's that?
I think this might be first M'Baku.
For first
the
two?
man ape. 80. I don't think anything happens at 80. 86. You need to go back in time here.
Yeah. Oh no, that one's I think I bought somewhere.
These are cool. That's wicked cool.
Go ahead. Tell me what you think of
well, I put that aside. Okay, we got more good stuff here.
Yeah,
Mimic.
good stuff here. See, I have them in Sims. What's good stuff? What did you go?
Well, the X-Men's old because I collect X-Men.
$1.25.
Yeah,
back in the
pretty
day.
good deal.
12 cents.
Let's see.
Archie. Look at Veronica. I had an old crush on Veronica.
A lot of people did. With you.
Yeah, Veronica. I didn't like Betty. Betty was kind of, my thing.
Because it's a Sal Buscema cover. So first meetup between Spider-Man and Falcon. It's just a great cover. So we can go for a little bit.
He didn't do it. He couldn't do it.
Oh.
And that's not one of
hold
the
on.
I'm looking for.
Hey.
You probably don't know about, but there you go.
Yeah. Again, not worth it a lot, but it's a cool comic book. This is the second meetup between Doctor Strange and Dracula. I like that book.
Oh, I do like Doctor Strange. I've always.
Oh, there's a whole bunch in here, yeah.
On the movies, I like the movies. Here's some of my. These are all my old.
They're all DC.
DC. And that's
Get a couple, yeah.
Namor.
Yeah.
Something there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kicking ass. Look at Super Horse. I bet that's worth something. I don't know.
See?
Oh, but it's all busted. But
Yeah,
it's the wrong ones, man. But I think my aunt would take me there. Oh, too bad. I like that gorilla guy.
Oh, that's a great one. I have the comic book too.
Yeah,
Billy Grod.
that's torn.
Yeah.
That was his best nemesis.
That was in bad shape. Joker's always good. Let me see. Any Joker covers? Good color breaks. Not, but it's a cool cool cover though. That's cool.
This cover so many times.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic one. I have this. $10.
$10.
Yeah, that's fine.
Beetle Bailey. Some old.
I love Spectre. Spectre's like one of my favorite DC characters.
Really?
Yeah.
He was good.
He's very cool.
Yeah, these are $1 ones. No. Okay. Still not. We're gonna find the thing I'm gonna show you. Eventually.
What is that?
Photos.
it's okay.
Oh, look at this. Now that might be worth something.
Yeah, 14. It's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't have too many like that.
Little classic Golden Age matchup. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we get a picture of a monkey.
What? Picture of a monkey?
Picture of a monkey.
What is that? I don't know who took that. Yeah, a monkey picture. That's worth nothing, right? Okay, I think we're heading into some easy. Creatures on the loose. Two. Something there 21. 23. Is that a good? Oh God, I like that. Wolverine and the Hulk. That's a good. What? Why are you laughing?
So this book here is by far the best one in your whole collection so far, and it's worth thousands of dollars.
Thousands?
Thousands of dollars.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying at all. Not at all. That's Hulk 181. That's one of the most famous comic books in the world. I'm not joking. Okay, we are going to be very careful with this one.
Okay, I should put that in. Take something out of here and put them in.
All right, we're going to count. Oh, that's the other thing I checked. Marvel value stamp is in there.
What is it? What's a Marvel value stamp?
That.
Oh, that thing.
I feel better holding it now that I put it in a bag and board.
I got a lot of Hulk.
I can't believe this was hiding in there.
I'm going to look at all my Hulk.
You're lucky I'm so honest.
I know. I'll give
man.
you $50 for it. I'll give you $100.
No, I would never.
I thought you were going to save a
never.
couple $100.
There's one of these is worth a lot. This one, and yep, that's the reprint of the first appearance of this character Groot. It's the reprint.
Oh, Groot.
Yeah, you know Groot.
Oh yeah, Groot. Oh,
so the big ones we get. Keep going back. You want to be going back in numbers, not higher.
No, I just yanked them out of the middle. Maybe there's more. I don't know.
80. All right, let's see what else. Grab the Fantastic Fours are the big ones. So.
I'll see if I have more Fantastic Fours. You see that?
Yep. You get another one.
Another good one?
Yep. First Killmonger.
Wasted money. Yeah, I've tried to get a few of those.
Yay.
Editions. We tried to sell all that.
That's a good comic book. Bring it out.
What's up?
First appearance of Rogue.
Rogue. Ooh, I like her.
You know Rogue?
Yeah. She's
that's your silhouette right there. Kind of.
This was many years ago.
10 cent House of Secrets. Really good shape too.
Legion.
Oh, there's another good one.
Where? Oh yeah, I've seen that one a lot.
I feel good about the back of this box. Let's reach in here, see what we got.
These are all Quest. Okay. My junior high school yearbook, will that go for anything?
I doubt it.
What's that?
That was the era they were in, you know.
Yeah, that kind of look.
Oh, so close. Do you have more Fantastic Four?
Some old
First Gladiator.
We got some old ones here. All right. Well,
You do?
Well, let's go through these. I'm just jumping all over the place. He's one kid. Daredevil.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite covers of all time. Daredevil 43. If I can get it out, it's stuck.
Oh, he's fighting Captain America?
Yeah, it's great. Jack Kirby cover. I love that one. That is a great one. A very good one. It's in decent shape. What are they? Oh, yeah.
Well, this must have been a. This is,
Yes, yeah.
It's a fake number one.
I get that one. Classic Dr. Doom cover.
$10 Superman Adventure Comics. Some of these gotta be worth something. A lot of 10-cent comics here.
Really? You've like Golden Age Superman over there?
Yeah, well, here.
I have to look.
Oh, guys, you check these. Those are probably the only good ones so far out of all that stuff. What's that?
I found another one.
Another what? Fantastic Four?
Yep. I gotta get to it.
Don't do this. Oh, some of these are weird.
Ugh. First appearance of Silver Surfer, and unfortunately, it's missing.
It's missing the
It's missing the whole top of the back cover.
Oh, it's missing the back cover?
It's in rough shape. Come on, can't get to these books. Find that one. X-Men. Oh, nice. First Annihilus. Wow. Nice. What's that? Yeah, good thing that's the, well, not good thing. I was kind of hoping it was the original, but it is the reprint. It's pretty cool, though. All right, so more. These are all DC?
I don't know.
More or less.
Hawkman.
There's a couple really good Hawkmans. I mean, again, people love these.
But
Any old Batman, like I have this book, this is a good one. I expect I get some Creeper. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I got one of these the other day.
Age.
$15, but it's cool.
Tales of Suspense, 12 cents. Captain America. Now that's
An Iron Man, yeah.
Nick Shield. Yeah,
Serious?
see, they're not all. Yeah, I don't. Iron Man. 12 centers.
I recognize that one.
Finest.
Same thing though, like people love these.
Yeah, but how do you do
Hold on, take that one out. It's sticky. Take that one out.
Should I take it out?
Yeah.
This is not a good one.
Yep.
This be Modoc.
MODOK. Oh, we're getting further and further back. Take that one out. See, all these Submariners are. You almost have a run. You just got to go back to the first issues here. Yeah, if you have Spider-Man, any old Spider-Man is always good.
Okay, well, that's a 12-cent Spider-Man.
Like all these Spider-Mans out.
Well, that's 15 center.
Still, people love Bronze Age Spider-Man.
20 center.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I just left his house. I was not expecting that. I thought there might be good things in that collection. Wow. You guys saw a couple of big comics. Well, there were some comic books in that collection I really, really wanted. I was very honest with what they were worth, and the conversation came around to, would I want them? There's more to the story, guys. I'll talk to you more in a second.
So yeah, that just happened. As someone who likes to hunt for comic books in, strange and unusual places like flea markets and yard sales, antique shops, digging through old attics and garages and basements, this is the stuff dreams are made out of, guys. Right? Like, we all dream of this situation where you uncover this old comic book collection. It hasn't been touched in decades, and you start going through it, and you're just finding great book after great book, and then you uncover that big one, that grail, that huge key that just makes you go, wow. We all dream of that sort of find, and I just got to live it. It was easily, the best comic book find of my life. It was pretty fantastic. Now, I give you guys a very quick rundown of why I was in this situation to begin with, but I think you deserve a little bit more detail as to how I ended up in this basement with this amazing comic book collection. So let's go back to last year. My channel is brand new. Someone down the street from me advertises they're having a yard sale and they have comic books. I contact them, they contact me back. I end up going over there before the yard sale to look through the books. Lots of stuff from the 80s, and I find some really good comic books. I bring this little stack up to the guy, ask him how much, and he says 50 cents a piece. To which I said, No way. I explained to him that he had several books worth, $50 to $100, and I ended up giving him $100 on the spot, and I told him I would buy more from him. He was completely blown away by my honesty, and long story short, he invited me back. I ended up buying most of that collection, over 800 comic books, and I did 2 videos very early in my channel's history. I'll link to them right here. And they were pretty good videos. I mean, they did really well, but most importantly, again, my channel was brand new, and they were really the videos that helped Lunch Money Comics grow very quickly. People liked seeing all the comic books, but I think most people responded really well to the fact that I was honest. But I will tell you a little bit about what happened afterwards. So I brought all those comic books home with me, and as I was inventorying them all, I realized there were a lot more than we thought. We'd agreed on about 400 comic books. There ended up being over 800 of them. So I called him up and I said, hey, I owe you more money. To which he said, no, you do not. I do not want any more money from you. You've been more than fair, and I want you and your son to enjoy those books. I thought that was really awesome that he did that. However, I've always wanted to give him more money. Even though he didn't want it, not only were the books worth more, but, again, they helped the channel grow. And I kind of felt like, this collection really, put me on a really fun path, and I kind of wanted to do a little more for him. Now, the other thing that happened out of this was, he is an older guy, he's semi-retired, but he likes a lot of the same stuff I do. He dabbles in flea markets and yard sales, he buys storage units. So for a while we were talking, he'd text me pictures of things and I'd help appraise them, all this stuff, because I like the same sort of stuff. And he mentioned to me at some point that he had more comic books down in his basement. He thinks there were older ones, but he hadn't gone through them, and he'd let me know someday. So I was like, absolutely, I would love to go through them someday. But we kind of ran out of contact with each other. For the whole winter and the spring, we didn't really talk. And I never stopped thinking about me wanting to give him more money. Well, it happened to be that I was driving by his house, and he was out front, and I had some cash in my pocket, so I pulled over, and I said, I know you don't want more money, but I would like to give you some more. So I gave him a whole bunch more cash right then. I explained it to him, like, don't ask questions, just take it. And he was really touched by that. He went into this whole spiel about he had done something nice for someone recently, and this was karma coming back around. And he invited me into his garage to show me some cool things that he wanted to sell. And it was great. I didn't have much time, and we sort of just left it at, someday, I'll bring him to a flea market or a comic book show. And he said he'd have to have me over to look at some more antiques, and he'd also show me those comic books. Of course, I was very excited, but I didn't push the issue, and that was it. Then comes this day. Middle of the afternoon, I'm working. He calls my cell phone and he said he got some baseball cards in. He wanted to know if I could appraise them. I said, sure, I can probably give you a ballpark of what they are. He said, great, if you come over later, we can also go through the comic books. So I got really excited. After work, I shot over there. The baseball cards weren't worth anything. He showed me some vintage toys as well, And then finally, we went into that room. It was a part of his basement. It was sort of unfinished. It was really cramped quarters. You guys could tell, I was filming really close because there wasn't any room. And yeah, you guys saw a good chunk of that collection. Some of it was in comic boxes. A lot of it was not. It was in picture boxes or shoe boxes. Only about half of them were bagged, and even those weren't boarded. They were covered in lots of dust. And although I saw some, older books at first, a lot of it was the same old stuff from the 80s, lots of independent stuff that he really liked. So I asked him, what do you want to do with this collection? And he said he wanted to sell it fast, and he wanted to get the most he could. And I explained to him that those are two mutually exclusive things, right? You can sell a whole collection really fast if you're willing to not get top dollar back, and the nicer ones you might want to have to kind of do separately. So I said, I know what we'll do. We'll go through them, and if I find any books worth over $20, I'll start making a pile over here. And that's what I started to do. I was finding some good Silver Age stuff, nothing great, nothing, huge keys, but I started making a pile. But then he kept pulling out more stuff. And the more stuff he pulled out, the older it started to go. So he had lots of Fantastic Four books, Silver Age, but they were all from issue 55 up. He started getting some older stuff. And then he started getting the stuff from the 70s, and I started seeing some Incredible Hulk. And I don't know, guys, I felt it coming. I'm like, he's gonna have it in here, isn't he? And there it was. I flipped over the book, and there was an unbagged Hulk 181 staring right back at me. Now, my first reaction, guys, I actually groaned. Because as soon as I saw that book, I knew that this collection was going to be a lot more difficult to sell. Not meaning no one would want the book, meaning it's going to take a lot more effort. Here I am putting $20 books aside. Now we have a big one, and the books are getting better. This is going to be a collection we're really going to have to be careful. Go through. This is just a whole different animal, right? These have to get cleaned and pressed and maybe even graded. So I showed it to him, and he's like, oh yeah, Wolverine and Hulk, that's great. He had no idea No idea what it was worth. I said, this is worth money. He thought I was meant like $100. So I got the giggles, and I told him, you guys saw right in the footage, I told him the truth. I always tell the truth. I told him it was worth thousands. And you guys couldn't see his face. He did not believe me. He was just staring at me, blank stare. He didn't believe me, and it didn't help the fact that I was like, I got the giggles. It was such a crazy moment. I started laughing, and he really didn't believe me. But the moment it set in to him, guys, I had to cut the footage because he swore really loudly. It was a really funny moment. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And then we kept going back, and sure enough, you know, the Fantastic Fours are going back in time. I'm like, he's gonna have it. And I uncovered the Fantastic Four 48, you know, in horrible condition. It's definitely like a 1.0, but still, it was a really cool thing to find. And then, you know, I was there for hours, guys. I found several boxes, you know, full of just like DC and everything I was looking up. These 10 and 12 cent DCs were all like $50 to $100. I just stopped taking them out. Honestly, guys, I only showed you half the footage. I ended up cutting a lot of it just because there was so much down there to go through. So I know what you're all saying at this point, right? Mike, that was a great collection, but it was someone else's. What is the point of this video if I didn't actually get anything for myself? Well, I'll tell you what happened next. We took the really good comic books and we went up and sat at the dining room table. So we have the best of the best. He grabs a pad of paper and we start going through the next steps. Very first thing, get bags and boards. I sent him a link from Amazon, like where to get Silver Age bags and boards so he could order them right away. Second, we set aside like some plans for me to go back over there, help him go through these books, sort by title and numerically, you know, start sorting them. And then thirdly, we started talking about price. So we're going through the prices roughly of what I think these really good comic books are. And I'm holding in my hand the two I think are worth the most, the Hulk 181 and the Fantastic Four 48. And we start looking at the prices right then and there together. You know, I was completely honest with the worth, and we were both looking on eBay for sold prices. I thought the Hulk 181 was a 4.0, maybe a 4.5 after cleaning the press, and graded, we came to the conclusion it's probably about $2,500. Fantastic Four 48, terrible shape, maybe $400 is kind of where we were at. So yeah, so I was explaining, like, if you want to get the most money for these, I recommend, you know, some of these we should get cleaned and pressed. The Hulk 181, I'll send it to my friend Jeff at Comic Spa, and then I'll probably should submit it to CGC. I make no secret, I'm not a huge slab comic book fan, but that's one of the books, you know, it's worth so much money. I think it's worth slabbing to keep it in better condition. And also, first appearance of Wolverine, he's right on the cover. It's an iconic book. I think it's okay to slab a book like that. Of course, me saying all this meant nothing to him. You know, he doesn't know anything about cleaning or pressing or worth or CGC. So I was like, I'll have to go through all that. I'll have to do it for you. Start talking about all that. And then he asked, he's like, well, what about the condition it's in right now? What if we didn't do all that? How much is it worth? And I said, I thought the Hulk 181 was probably worth about $2,000. Same thing, Fantastic Four, you know, a couple hundred, things like that. And he said, well, are they desirable? Could you sell them like that? I said, oh yeah, of course I could. You know, these are, you know, really, you know, famous books. Everyone wants these books. You know, heck, I would even like them. To which he turned and asked me, well, what about you? Would you want these books? Okay. Before this moment, if you were to ask me my top 3 books on my wish list for my collection, number 1 is my Holy Grail, X-Men #1, right? That's the book I want more than anything else. Number 2, Hulk 181. I collect first appearances of X-Men. I've never had a 181. Of course I would want it. And my third most wanted book was Fantastic Four 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus, 2 characters I absolutely love. So here I am holding my number 2 and 3 books on my wish list right here, and I answered, of course I want these books. However, I can't offer you any money for them. I said, I'm over here not to buy books, I'm here to help you sell the books. That's why I'm here, and if you want top dollar, which it sounds like he did, you know, I can't give him that money. I literally didn't have the money to pay, you know, $2,500, you know, $3,000 for these 2 books. And I told him flat out, I said, if you want to get the most for these that you can, you shouldn't sell them to me. So at this point, he looks over at this stack of comic books on the dining room table, and then he looks back to me and he says, you're really going to help me sell all these comic books? I said, yeah, I told you I definitely would. It's going to be fun. And he said, I want you to have those comic books. I would like to sell those to you. And then he threw out a number. Okay, I'm always honest. I will tell you guys the number in a second, but let me tell you what happened next. So I would love to tell you guys it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was a great price, but like I said, I didn't have the money. So I had to make a phone call to the boss, my wife. I knew I would have to dip into savings a little bit. So I called her up, explained the situation, and she understood the magnitude of the situation. And not only did she okay the extra funds, she actually went and got me the cash. Thank you very much to my wonderful, amazing, lovely, gorgeous wife. I really appreciate it, honey. So, to answer that question, Mike, did you get anything out of this collection? Yes. Yes, I did. I got Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine, and Fantastic Four 48, first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. The number 2 and 3 books on my list. Are you kidding me? Okay, before I tell you what I paid, let me talk about the books a little bit. Like I said, I think this Hulk 181 is a 4.0 right now, maybe a 4.5 with a clean inner press. It looks really good in this bag and with this top loader here, but trust me, it definitely needs a press. There's lots of creases in it. There are several long creases that have a color break, including one that goes right down the middle. The worst part about it, I think, is the spine. There are a ton of color breaking spine ticks on it. Now let's talk about the good things. One, the inside is actually pretty great. The Marvel value stamp is still in there. The colors are very bright. I don't know if this was early in the printing process or whatnot, but man, the colors are fantastic on this. So definitely needs some work. The whites could be brightened up. There's a little bit of highlighter right here. Looks like a little bit of yellow also on the back cover. Still, guys, it's a really great presenting mid-grade Hulk 181. Let's talk about this one. So this one looks pretty good from your standpoint, right? I think this is a 1.0. I think it's a very well-presenting 1.0. Here are the things going against it. One, I think you saw it in the footage, the top of the back cover of this book is completely ripped off. Second, you can see how dark that cover is. Anyone who's seen this book, like in better condition, knows it's a lot brighter, a lot redder. This is almost brown, and it's because it's very acidic. There's a lot of acid in the pages. It makes them very brown. It makes them very brittle. So brittle, in fact, that when I brought this home and put it in a new bag and board, I lost several pieces of the cover, just flaking right off. The staples are both in there, but they're not attached to much. The bottom staple is not attached to the cover. In fact, it's only attached to the middle 2 folios, and the top staple has most of the rest of the book. So it seems like everything in this book is attached at either the top or bottom staple, but never both. And I will never take it out of this bag ever again because I'm afraid it's going to fall apart. I think it's a very good presenting 1.0. So again, in our perusing of eBay sold prices, we came to the conclusion like $2,500, $500. So here's the number he threw at me. The first number he threw at me, he said, how about $1,500 cash? And I thought he meant just the Hulk 181 at first. And then he quickly clarified. He said, no, you know what? $1,400 for both. And he went on to explain he was basically giving them to me for half price. He was thinking $1,200 and $200. Like I said, that's a great price, but it wasn't a no-brainer because I had to make sure I could get the money from the wife, the boss. So yeah, I was able to get the cash and I paid him for this. Now, I can already hear a lot of your comments coming because the last time I did a video where I bought comic books from this guy, I got a lot of the same comments, and I'm going to try to get ahead of all of them right now. So the first comment I got a lot of last time was, you did the right thing. I think I did the right thing. And a lot of people on those last videos said, that was the right thing to do. I believe in always being honest and fair with everybody. Always treat people with kindness and respect. I mean, treat others like you would want to be treated. You wouldn't want someone ripping you off, even if you were in the dark and didn't know what they were worth. What if it was your grandfather? You would want people to not take advantage of him and be honest. And I truly believe in always telling the truth. My kids will probably watch this video. Hey kids. And that's a lesson, I always want to instill in them. And the truth is, guys, being honest all the time, it doesn't always work out for you. If you're always honest about prices, you're probably not going to get the best deals. But I promise you guys, you will get more opportunities. Let's not forget why I was in this situation to begin with. It's because I was honest way back when. The first time I met him, that's why he called me back. That's why we had a relationship. We had a rapport. That's why he called me up to be there. I believe in always being fair and telling the truth. A lot of people call it like karma. What goes around comes around. If you do nice things will come back to you. I don't think it's anything mystical or magical, guys. I think it's pretty straight science. Like, people who are nice have more friends. And when you have lots of friends, good things happen to you. That's it. That's it. Treat people with kindness and respect, and good things will happen to you. There's nothing magical about it. The second comment I know I'm going to get, and man, I hear this all the time. Whenever I've paid someone more money than they asked, I always get this line. I get it from family and friends. You're a better man than I. The implication being that in the same situation, they would not have told the truth and paid more. And I do not like that. Because why not be better? Why not be the better man or woman, right? If you have an opportunity to be the better person, always choose to be the better person. Like I said, it won't always work out for you, but you have a clear conscience and it's the right thing to do. So for those of you who would have just taken these comic books and ran at $100, yeah, you would have got a great deal. But I just disagree with that. That's just entire concept and that entire sentiment. So I apologize for any of you who would think otherwise. The third comment I got last time, and I really don't like this one, is that still didn't pay him enough. Right? I got a great deal on these, but people would say, oh, you still ripped him off. A couple things. One, I didn't offer to buy these books. He threw that number out there. But two, I haven't fully paid for these books. Don't forget, it wasn't just the $1,400. It was also what will inevitably be dozens of hours of bagging, boarding, inventorying, and selling books that do not belong to me. I basically just put a down payment on these books right here. So I have a long way to go to paying these off, really. It's going to be fun, but yeah, it's a lot of work. I still have not quite paid for these books. So hopefully I got ahead of all of the main comments I got from last time. That being said, guys, go down below, sign off. I would love to hear your opinion on these books. Let me know what you think of the entire collection. Let me know what you think of these books. Let me know which side of the fence you fall on. Did I pay too little, pay too much, or did I do the right thing? A couple things I want to ask very respectfully not to do down in the comments is send me offers for this comic book collection. Since day one, I've always said this, guys. I do not sell things through Lunch Money Comics. I don't want it to be about that. I want it to be light and fun, talking about the hobby, hunting for comic books, the stories, the art. I've never had any intent to sell things on my channel. I don't do live sales or claim sales. I don't even do sponsorships. Now, I reserve my right to change my mind in the future, but I don't want to do that now. Furthermore, we haven't even started inventorying these books, guys, at all. And this guy's kind of old-fashioned. He likes things in cash. He likes things local. I think it's going to be an uphill battle to get these sold, like, online. So I'm just going to respectfully ask people, don't send me offers down below. We're a long ways from that. I knew you were drooling over it, but please don't send me those comments. One more thing. I don't want anyone to think that I'm being flippant or cavalier about $1,400. I know for people who spend a lot of money on comics, that's nothing, and that's a great deal. But it's not nothing. That's a lot of money. That's rent money. That's mortgage money. That's, the cost of plane tickets to go visit a loved one. That's a lot of money for what is really just old paper. I know us going back and forth and hemming and hawing over how much to spend on these books is definitely like a first world problem. I just don't want anyone to think that it's lost on me. That's a lot of money, and I don't want anyone to think otherwise. For you kids out there who are thinking like, oh, $1,400 is a great deal. It's not. It's a lot of money for comic books. I just want to put that out there. I'm totally aware of how much it is. All that being said, guys, are you kidding me? I can't believe I got these two books. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Let me know down in the comments what you think of all of this. Pretty nuts. So, in the meantime, I hope you guys keep hunting for comic books in strange and unusual places. Always be kind. Always treat people with respect. Always be honest, because you might find yourself in that strange and unusual place that's holding a comic book grail meant for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.